My name is Rachel. I am 47 years old. I am 5 foot 7.5 inches tall. I began my keto journey in 2018. I have lost more than 170 pounds. My last known weight was 128 pounds.
My name is Joe. I'm 53 years old. I'm 6 foot tall. I began keto in 2017 and I've lost more than 100 pounds. My last known weight is 190 pounds. So if those data points are the only thing that you want to know about us, you can just turn off the video right now.
But if you want to learn about what is the biggest change we're making to our keto journeys since we began them, keep watching. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time I'm already a hot mess and we haven't even begun to tape the video, you'll be alerted to it.
So we're right now on what we called our birthday cruise. This was our birthday presents to each other to come on a cruise. And this is honestly the first true vacation that we've taken in probably about 9 or 10 years. Like every other trip, though most people would say it's a vacation, has somehow involved work, going to visit friends within the keto community, going to a conference, but we've never taken a trip going, it's just the two of us and we're going to get away. Maybe we'll film a video, maybe we won't.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, there's probably going to be some crying in this video. But the last year or so, we've been living a little bit of a lie.
Well, I think what it is that I think especially when you put yourself out on camera and you're on YouTube, you really want to be a blessing to your audience, and you want to kind of be able to lead the way of like, what's next? Like, what is something exciting? And you want to bring something interesting, whether it is, you know, a revolutionary new way of cooking, or you want to bring, you know, a great recipe or a new school of thought. Like, you're trying to bring something awesome and worthy to this space, because we're very aware that this is a time investment that people are making in us. And I don't want to waste someone's time. I don't want to waste somebody's energy. And I cherish the opportunity to have an audience and to have a platform. And we do want to be a blessing to people and not just, you know, a distraction or a waste of time. And so I have to say that this year I have been very proud to be able to report that even after a major stall, like a 2-year stall in weight loss, that I had a breakthrough, that I really did have a breakthrough, that getting better sleep and stress reduction allowed me to, first of all, get eyes on what was important. You know, I think it began with Peyton's birth. And I suddenly started to think about like, wow, I need to focus on her and the family. And it allowed me to say no to some things that like didn't matter at all, right? So that was a good beginning. And I did see a 30-pound loss. And I felt really great coming to conferences and meeting people, feeling like, wow, I am somehow more worthy of you showing up here today because I have something to show you. I have some good news to share.
The problem is that success, the weight loss success, the scale success, the feeling good about ourselves has come at a cost.
Yeah.
And that cost, there's a lot of different costs that are involved, but I think one of the biggest costs is that probably for the last 6 to 9 months, we haven't enjoyed ourselves.
No, because there is this crippling thought in the back part of your mind that once I got down to 128 pounds, and even as much as 123 pounds this year, I started to think of what's going to happen when you can't lose anymore. And definitely, I feel like for myself, I've gotten to a place where this is the best it's going to get. There is no way that I have 10 or 15 pounds for me to lose. I could put on some muscle, I could show you some change that way, but that's gonna cost me the scale number. I'm gonna have to go up in weight. And when you travel or just throughout the year, things happen, and I may not be able to be perfectly 128 forever. Like, I can't guarantee it. And the thought that I might not be able to be like 128 forever has really sucked the joy out of everyday life. And we've said for a long time, this scale is the devil. Really, this scale is the devil. And I have been dancing with the devil, even though I've said the scale is the devil. So it has been this, I've maintained this size, like a size 2, a size 0. Again, there's nowhere more I can go, right? Like I feel like a size 0, a size 2 is like the best that I can bring. And I've been dancing with ounces, not even pounds, like ounces, where you would see like 0.8 up, 0.2 down. And every morning that I step on the scale, and it's not every morning, but like when I get on the scale, I would be like, am I joyful today, or am I behind the 8 ball, and now I've got to somehow drum up some momentum to put myself in front of the camera, even though I am at a loss, like I'm behind the 8 ball.
So how have we been living a lie for the last year? We've been dancing with the devil.
Mm-hmm.
For the last year, especially the last 6 to 9 months, that scale has dictated everything in our life. How many times are we going to eat today? Did I make a mistake yesterday? Did I make a mistake an hour ago? Why am I up? Should we cancel our cruise? I cannot tell you how many times in the last 30 days it has gone through my mind, I don't know about Rachel's, that we should cancel our birthday cruise and just eat the loss of the money that we paid, because one of us was miserable that we were up a pound from the day before. Even if 2 days later we were down 5 pounds, I didn't want to have to come on a cruise knowing that we want to enjoy our food. We had bought the all-you-can-eat dining package so that we can experience the different specialty restaurants. And the thought of coming on a cruise and then going home and going, well, that was the biggest waste of money, and I can't believe we did that, and regretting that we went on the cruise, and then wanting to cancel the rest of the cruises that we have planned over the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely for me, I had thought about that, because I know when I'm hungry and I know when I'm full. But I knew that coming on this cruise, I was going to mess with those hunger signals, because you're going to eat more often than you need to. On a regular basis, I eat based on like, am I hungry or am I full? But still, you can't control those like 0.8 ounces or like the 1 pound up or the 2 pounds down. So like I would say to myself, like, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm hungry right now. I'm going to go ahead and authentically eat, because that's what I tell people to do. But then the next day, if I would get on the scale after eating when I knew I needed to eat, I would feel bad about it. And I thought, man, now we're going to go on a cruise and we're going to eat this delicious food, and it's not going to be based on my hunger signals. It's going to be based on like the access to it. And will we be able to enjoy ourselves, or will this just be something that when we step off the boat, we look back and I say to myself, I regret this time that I've spent with my husband, that this beautiful opportunity for us to celebrate another year of life and our love for one another. Am I going to get off this cruise and then say something horrible about it? Like, I regret it. I just didn't want to have that regret.
And there have been times where one of us was like, I'm ravenously hungry. I know I need to eat. And then we would eat, and then we would beat ourselves up for eating and say, I shouldn't have eaten. Now I'm up in weight. This was the biggest mistake. Maybe I should just fast. Like, literally going against everything that we teach on our channel. Like, don't get on the scale. Don't fast because like you're up in weight, or to punish yourself. And most of the time we don't actually do that. But there are definitely times where it has like come to our mind that maybe I should do that. And we don't want to live that way anymore. And we don't want anybody else to live that way anymore. And we have come to an epiphany while on this cruise.
Yeah, this morning, I was just thinking about, because, you know, I'm sorry if we're crying. But in my morning time of prayer, I pray to be released from this, to not have this burden of hurt and worry too, that like if you can't be perfect and continue to like have weight loss, that you will become irrelevant. Like, that has been a fear, that if I gain weight, I won't be able to be a blessing to someone. I've thought about like, what would, like, I'm not going to be that person that like gains a bunch of weight so that I can lose it back on camera again, because then maybe that will make me relevant. Like, but this worry has been like sitting on my heart, and I'm like, I just don't want to be sad about it anymore. And so the thought crossed my mind this morning that a lot of people go onto a boat with someone really that has been dear to them, but who after passing has been asked to be cremated so that they could be released someplace, that they could be released somewhere beautiful. And that's hard, I know, for the person that has the ashes of this precious person. To release them is hard. You want to just hold on to it. Maybe you just want to like keep it on your mantle for a while. But if the person's wishes is to be released, then as the steward of someone's ashes, you need to be faithful to do what they've asked you to do and release it. And I thought, you know what? I've held on to the ashes of this relationship with the scale for so long. And while for a while it was a source of victory, if you have, you know, been afraid of the scale and then like you step on the scale and you start to see weight loss. And for me, coming from like in the 300s and then 200s, like it was a source of victory for a while. It was a good thing to see those numbers come down. But when it comes to a point where you're like at your maintenance level, or you're at that point where you're happy with yourself, then from then on, all it is dancing with ounces in a couple of pounds, like 10, 20 pounds. And you're just continuing to do that dance, and there's no victory there. At least for me, I need to be able to leave it here. I need to throw it out, and I need to be able to move on with my life. I'm going to leave it someplace beautiful, and this trip has really been a beautiful thing. But I asked Joe this morning if he would be willing to get rid of our scale so that I don't have to weigh anymore.
So we've made the decision that we will not weigh anymore. We're going to get rid of our scale. Doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter what it says. And we're going to rely on our clothes and how we feel and each other to keep us on track. And the bottom line is, listen, I have been keto since 2017. Am I the lowest weight that I ever was according to that scale? No, I'm not. And I look back at myself in pictures of when I got to that lowest weight, and I honestly don't like what I see. I think I looked almost sick. But I have been within 10 or 15 pounds of that weight the entire time. I have been within a size of my lowest ever size up until now, and I still am. Sometimes, listen, sometimes I'm tight medium, sometimes I'm a large, sometimes I'm a 32, sometimes I'm a 30, but I'm still in that relative area. I'm not a size 44 anymore. I'm not a triple X. I haven't come close to getting there. So why have I continued to beat myself up? And there have been times where this incredible woman would look at me in the morning and go, "You look amazing." And I'd be like, "No, I don't," because the scale says you're wrong. The scale and the mirror tell me that I'm a fat blob, even though my wife is saying I'm not. And so we've made this decision that we're just going to dump the scale.
Yeah.
And we're going to be honest with each other and say, like, hey, you know what? Maybe you're not making the right decisions. And this is a bold thing because we've got to put our faith in each other and our trust in each other. We're not going to be mean to each other, but say, like, hey, listen, you know, it's been 5 days. Your belly's looking a little bit bigger. It's obviously not a one-day bloat because you were traveling. Is there something going on? And relying on our clothes. And we've given each other permission to do that. Now, I am going to say this. We're not giving you permission to do that.
Right. That's good.
If you decide that you want to come in and type a comment in the video that, hey, Joe, you look super fat now, don't bother. Please don't do that. This is something that we're doing. But we want to be able to continue to create content. We want to continue to help people on their journey to get help. Our focus on Two Crazy Ketos is family.
Yeah.
It is community. I am so looking forward to the Two Crazy Ketos cruise in January and hanging out with our family. I am looking forward to the low carb cruise in June. I'm looking forward to planning another Two Crazy Ketos cruise later on in the year. I'm looking forward to the conferences. We want to hang out with our family. We want to encourage people. And I truly believe that the number that's on that scale has nothing to do with our family.
No.
That our family doesn't care what that number is. It's only us that cares what that number is.
Well, and like you said, I mean, I would wake up in the morning and my husband, who's been there through thick and thin, would say, "You're beautiful and I love you." And I would think in my mind, "No, I am not. And I don't know why you love me." Like, I would really reduce myself to, I'll be lovable 0.8 ounces from now. When I lose back to that magic number, like, it literally was when I would get down to, like, you know, it was 123 was really like when I hit that number. And it was like every ounce away from 123 was failure. And I would think, and it would become such a point of hurt. Like, he would say, "Hey, let's go do something. Like, put your sneakers on and let's go do something fun." And my attitude was not a good attitude of like, I'm so glad that my precious husband and I can do something together. My mind was left in the bathroom. My mind was like, it's not going to be as fun of a day if I am closer to 128 than I am 123. Like, that is really a heartbreaking thought because I'm so blessed to have this relationship and to have an opportunity to go live this life. And we are well in our body, and there's so much that we have been able to take back as far as our health goes. Like, we're mobile, and I am not like in crippling depression. So why in the world am I allowing this scale to derail me or to like to hurt my feelings in any way? Like, I think that this is the last thing that needs to be snipped for us. And I know that our channel not providing like daily or weekly like measurements or like scale, you know, what's going on with the scale, like that may impact viewership. Like, that may be something that somebody's like, well, if I'm not going to get like updates on like where you're at, or if I sense that you look different, you know, up or down of 5 pounds or whatever, like I don't want to watch anymore because I'm really looking at somebody who tracks like very, very carefully. I have to be okay to let that portion of an audience go so that we can enjoy this life that we're so blessed to have.
Yeah, because up until now, there have just been times where, like, it literally would be, I don't know what I should do, you know? And moving forward, we've made this decision that we're not going to weigh. And so what we're going to tell you is, on this channel, if you want to know how much we weigh, the only thing we're ever going to be able to tell you is our last known weight is.
Yeah.
And we're going to go by size, and we're going to go by how we feel, and we're going to go by how we look, and we're going to continue to do challenges. We're going to continue to do things like beef, butter, bacon, and egg, but we're not going to measure our success or anything with the scale, because we don't want to miss out on life. And for us, there have been too many times over the last year where we didn't enjoy ourselves because of that number. The number dictated our day. The number dictated what we were going to eat, when we were going to eat, if we were going to go somewhere, if we were going to turn down an invitation for a dinner. You know, it dictated too many things. So we have made this agreement that we're going to keep each other accountable based on how we look in our body to each other. And we've even said, like Rachel said, like, well, your face, if it gets puffy. I'm like, the problem is my face can get puffy. Like, I can watch a video where we recorded 3 separate video clips in the same day, and in 3 separate video clips, my face looks different because of angles or because I was out in the sun. So we've picked parts of our body that's what we're going to help each other with.
Right. And clothes, you know, my clothes are plenty good enough as a measurement of like where I am at. And I had started when we went to Omaha, like we're putting it all out there. When we went to Omaha, I had gotten tested as far as like my hormones and all of that kind of stuff. And so when we came home, I went on hormone replacement therapy, and we got like good quality hormone replacement therapy. I started taking it, and I just didn't feel like myself. I felt like, I don't know, it had like more of a steroid effect on me than I was comfortable with. I didn't feel like I was having any major like problems when it came to like hormones. It was just the number said I was like low in this area, and that hormone replacement therapy may be beneficial to me. So I was like, okay, I'll do it if we think that we would get a little bit extra help, or like this would be good for me. But once I started taking it, I just didn't feel myself, if that makes sense. And so I'm like, you know what? For me, I don't think I'm going to continue this. So I stopped the hormone replacement therapy. And I feel like my old self, which is what I enjoy. So that's where I'm at. So that's kind of my measurement too. So like, if I don't fit in my clothes and I don't feel like my best self, I feel like that's enough of an indicator that I need to pivot, that I need to rein things back in. And my baseline is beef, butter, bacon, and egg. I know that I feel fantastic within the parameters of beef, butter, bacon, and egg. If I have to go closer to beef, butter, bacon, and egg, and that comes with like coffee consumption. Where's the goal in beef, butter, bacon, and egg? One coffee experience. So if I feel like I'm off the rails as far as like caffeine, that's what my go-to will be like. If I feel like I've been eating and I'm getting bloated in some way, maybe I know that I'm eating too much like heavy cream or cheese or nuts or things like that. Beef, butter, bacon, and egg is like a great place that I can just go back to know that that's where I feel my best self.
So moving forward, like we said, we're not going to talk about the scale. We're going to give ourselves permission to eat keto foods, because the scale has even told us like you shouldn't eat vegetables because the vegetables make you gain a pound of gas.
Right, seriously.
And we've been on this trip and we've enjoyed the food, and we've ventured out to things that used to be on our diet when we were at low weights years ago, 6 years ago. And we took out because for some reason we made this decision that eating broccoli is no good for you. Eating cauliflower or eating a salad occasionally is no good for you. And honestly, I look back and when we took that stuff out is when we started seeing other changes.
Yeah.
So we're going to allow ourselves to have that if we want it and we feel good. We're going to stay keto. What we just wanted to let you guys know is where we're at, what the focus for us and our channel has been, is going to continue to be, which is building community and holding people's hands as they explore on this journey. What we want to say to you is, if we're not telling you don't use the scale, we're not telling everybody this is the answer. The answer is throw your scale out. But for some people, it might be. If you are like us and that scale is dictating whether you should get up out of bed, if that scale is dictating whether you should eat or shouldn't eat, how much you should eat, when you should eat, if you should fast, you might want to consider taking this approach at least for a little time. Some people are not controlled by the scale. Some people can get on that scale and say, okay, it is what it is, and I don't care what it is, but I kind of want to know where I'm at. That's awesome. But I think a lot of people are more on the side of where we are, where they're as bad as I was, where you're getting on the scale before and after going to the bathroom to see, did I lose any weight when I went to the bathroom?
And I thought to myself, there's no way that I can do this. Like, I cannot go without like having access to this scale. And here we are on this cruise. There is no scale.
You've had no access to a scale.
I've had no access to a scale. Like, I guess probably in the gym there might be one, but like I have been able to not try to even seek it out. So it is physically possible for me to go a week at a time without access to a scale. And I have enjoyed my life. It hasn't been a license for me to go off keto. We've eaten completely keto this entire time. We feel great. That was really the reason to stay keto, is because we wanted to enjoy the fullness of this trip, right? I didn't want to feel like wonky. I didn't want to miss out on anything. So we're fine to stay keto. I do not need the scale in order to keep me keto. But when we were like here, as we're headed back home, and I thought, what would I like to preserve from this cruise? I don't feel like we need to sell the house and live on a houseboat. I don't need to live on the ocean. We've enjoyed bingo. We even won at bingo, okay? But I do not need to live in a game show. I do not need to be away from my children forever in order for me to enjoy life. It's not just me and Joe and that's it. Like, but the one thing that I thought, boy, it would be nice if I could go home and not have to wait anymore ever again. And to have the freedom to have a partner in life that's like, baby, we don't ever have to do that again. Even if we go to the doctor, you can just turn around and tell the doctor, when you weigh, write down my weight if you need to. And I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You know, it's funny because I don't like check my height every single day. Like there's other data points that I am completely blissful to go through life not seeing if there's any changes. So I truly believe that I can move forward and not need to weigh anymore.
So if this is something that you struggle with, let us know down in the comment section. Let us know. Like, do you struggle with the scale on a daily or maybe even hourly basis? Because there have definitely been times where we have struggled with it as much as on an hourly basis. And I do want to say, I am sorry for the fact that for several years we've told you guys, stay off the scale. Don't look at the scale. And yet for the last 9 months, we have secretly focused on that scale. And if you just absolutely need to know how much we weigh every day, we're sorry.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do it. And if you choose to unsubscribe from our channel because we are not going to do weight loss pound challenges and measure ourselves and say, hey, we're up 0.3 pounds or we're down 0.6 pounds anymore, we understand.
Yeah.
We're sorry to see you go, but this is what we need to do to enjoy our life, and this is what we need to do to be able to help people, because if we don't like ourselves, there's no way we can like or help other people. If you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over here. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent videos I'm going to put right over there.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.